so we are at 7 o'clock. This is the January 13th, 2021 meeting of the Walpole Conservation Commission, and we'll do a roll call to see who is present. Bailey?
Here.
Doug?
Here.
Medio?
Here.
Betsy?
Here.
Al?
Here.
Jack? Here. Okay, we have an introduction to make. Allery Braich, did I pronounce your last name correctly,
Yeah,
Allery?
both. Nicely done.
Allery started this past a week ago as secretary to the board, working with Landis. And this is her first meeting with all of us, so everybody be nice. And I'm not sure what, if anybody wants to stop in and say hi, what hours that would be that you'd be there. But anyhow, welcome aboard, and hope you're enjoying yourself so far, and continue with enjoying yourself working for the Conservation Commission. And Allery does have some experience. She works with the Sherborne Conservation Commission.
Yep.
That's correct. And I believe your position there, are you the agent there?
I was, yep, I left Sherburne.
Left server. Okay. Okay. So let's begin. Landis, if you want to read in the 7 o'clock hearing.
Yes, I'd be happy to. Town of Walpole Conservation Commission notice is hereby given that the Conservation Commission will hold a public hearing for the purpose of gathering public comment on revisions to the stormwater and erosion control bylaw regulations and the Walpole Wetlands Protection Bylaw regulations. The public hearing on the above matter was originally held in Town Hall, 135 School Street, June 26, 2019, but has now been continued several times, and we are requesting to continue it again tonight.
Okay. There are some changes that I know Landis wants to make in what has already shown up due to some other changes that have come up. So what do you suggest we do for a continuation date?
I guess I'm going to say the second week in February, and
The second meeting or the second
I'm
week?
sorry, the second meeting in February, so February 24th.
So continue to February 24th. Someone want to make that a motion?
I'll move it.
I'll second.
Okay, and all in favor, let's go down the list. We have Bailey,
Aye.
Doug,
Aye.
Emilio,
Aye.
Betsy,
Aye.
Al,
Aye.
Jack, aye. Okay, so we'll continue this until February, what was that date?
24th at 7 p.m.
Okay, now, our next hearing, 7:15. So we have a bunch of acceptances here of certificate of compliance. Do we want to do those now? Let's work on those, get those out of the way.
Jack, I have a question. Is there any chance that we can do a bunch at the same time? Like if Landis doesn't have any objections, can we vote in the whole, like a chunk of them?
There are 12, it looks like, for Kilronan Park.
I don't see why not, Jack. Well,
Why don't we do that? Then we'll take Petty's Pond separately, since that's a different, the Kilronan Park are all in the same area, part of the, was that estate?
Ross Commons, part of Ross Commons.
You want to comment on these Landis?
So I'm just gonna read the lots, the DEP numbers, the lots and the addresses. So 51 Kilronan Park, Lot 15, DP 315-1182. 47 Kilronan Park, Lot 16, DP 315-1181. 43 Kilronan Park, Lot 17, 315-1180. 39 Kilronan Park, Lot 18, DP 315-1179. 35 Kilronan Park, Lot 19, DP 315-1178. 31 Kilronan Park, Lot 20, DP 315-1191. 27 Kilronan Park, Lot 21, DP 315-1193. 23 Kilronan Park, Lot 22, DP 315-1196. 19 Kilronan Park, Lot 23, DP 315-1195. 15 Kilronan Park, Lot 24, DP 315-1197. 11 Kilronan Park, Lot 25, DP 315-1192. And lots 7 Kilronan Park, Lot 26, DP 315-1194. Now, I do believe that Women Homes was going to have a representative here tonight. So is the representative here? You can just unmute yourself. Is that Matt?
Yeah, that's me.
Okay, so I'll just, if you want to, I did go out with Eric Diaz of Strong Point Engineering, and we reviewed the as-built plans and walked the site. There were several, most of the lots were exactly how the plans were approved. There were a couple lots where there were some rock retaining walls and reinforcement along the backside of the lots that were put in afterwards. I agreed with Mr. Diaz that the retaining walls really helped give a defined boundary between the residential area of the lot and the open space where the wetlands line was. So I didn't think it was an impediment or an alteration change to the lots rather than an improvement. So I would recommend approving them all. I don't know if Matt, if you want to say a little bit about any of the lots in particular.
No, I think you touched up on basically everything that I was going to say. Basically, the retaining walls, that there was no encroachment. All the boundaries were put in place where they were supposed to. And the layout was, it was all laid out by the survey crew, so everything was put into place how it was supposed to be. So yeah, I agree with everything you just said.
Okay, so Landis, you're recommending that we approve all of these. So someone want to make that a motion?
Yep, and just to add, Jack, sorry, that for each of the lots, there is a special condition, 27 through 31, which pertains to different aspects that should be continued.
That that's in the order, so that will show up when it's recorded.
Yeah, we'll make a note of that on each of the certificates of compliance, that there's continuing conditions 27 through 31.
Someone make that a motion to approve.
I'll move it.
We get a second.
So who would, can you just state your names?
Oh,
just so
Betsy
it's clear?
Dyer, I moved it.
Okay,
I will second Emilio.
Medio, seconded. Okay, all in favor? Bailey?
Aye.
And Doug?
Aye.
Medio?
Aye.
Betsy?
Aye.
Al?
Aye.
Jack? Aye. Okay, so that takes care of those. We're at 7:09. We have another certificate of compliance for Petty's Pond. Landis, you want to fill us in on that?
yep. So this is for 7 Petty's Pond Lane, DP 315578. It's an old DEP number. It's an old order of conditions, and it's located just kind of at the beginning of Petty's Pond, which is near Willett Pond. And they needed a certificate of compliance, so it was expired. So we charged them $100, and then we needed an as-built. So Dan American did an as-built, as well as the no alteration bounds and plaques needed to be, a couple of them needed to be replaced, and all that was completed. So I would recommend issuing.
Okay, someone want to move that?
I'll move it.
I'll second.
Betsy Dyer.
Betsy and Emilio second.
Yep.
Okay, all in favor. Bailey,
Aye.
Doug,
Aye.
Emilio,
Aye.
Betsy,
Aye.
Al,
Aye.
Jack, aye. Okay, takes care
Just,
of that.
I would just say, and Allery can mention it too, but just until she gets used to your voices and stuff, if you could just, as well as anyone else who speaks, just if you could state who you are and then say what you need to say, that would be helpful. So Matt, you're all set.
Thanks, Matt.
Thank
You can hang
Have
on
a
if
great
you
night.
want.
Have a good night, guys.
Thanks. Okay. All right, we are at 7:11.
Can we do Phil Mackey's extension?
We could do, what do we have for an extension?
Sure.
1148
that?
Washington Street. Mr. Mackey, this is young Phil Mackey has requested an extension, and Landis, I think you said recommend 18 months, which takes into account the COVID situation.
Right, so under COVID, no order of conditions really expires, but under the bylaw, and just so some people have enough time to finish what they need to complete, the commission has been issuing 18 months rather than just a year. It's 1148 Washington Street, DP 315983. I think he's almost done, but there's just a little bit more that needs to be completed.
Okay, so want to move that?
I'll move
So
it,
moved.
Betsy. Oh, okay, I'll second it then. That was Al, Betsy seconding.
Okay, all in favor? Bailey,
Aye.
Doug,
Aye.
Emilio,
Aye.
Betsy,
Aye.
Al,
Aye.
Jack, aye. Okay. Let's see what else we have here. All right, let's take up the wetland filing fee account. We are in need of replenishing the wetland filing fee account that requires an approval from the Board of Selectmen after the Conservation Commission votes it in. So we are requesting, I'm going to find the right piece of paper here. 15,000, I believe. Is that right, Landis?
That's correct.
And there is substantial amount left in the fund. What do I do with it? Okay, I don't have that right in front of me, how much is left.
There is $105,000. I'm sorry, 102, 467 currently in the balance. And I calculated that currently 2 hours of my hours is taken out of that fund, and so, which is $97 times 52.2 weeks, which is a year, is about 10,162. And then we would also draw from that account for any extra hours that we need to give to Allery as we go along, and any other extra hours that come that I need to apply to the Wetlands Protection Act. All the funds, everything we use from the Wetlands filing fee account is for the administration of the Massachusetts Wetlands Protection Act. So that's the only way we can spend the funds, access the funds. And through the years, we've just used some of it for staff and for extra hours on a need-be basis. Last time we did it was September 2019, and at that time there was $78,000 in the account, and we used the 10,000 between September and approximately now. So it stretched a little further last time.
Does someone want to make that a motion to approve the expenditure of $15,000 and a request of the Board of Selectmen to, or the Select Board to approve that? And it comes from the state wetlands filing fee account.
I'll move it. Al gets.
Second, Betsy.
Anybody have any questions?
This is Doug. I have a question.
Yep.
I'm looking at the description here, and I see $97.34 times 52.2 equals 10,162. I guess I'm trying to follow the math there. It doesn't look right.
Okay.
Can somebody explain that to me?
Yeah, I am trying to explain. Hold on. Maybe I did the math wrong, which is bad of me.
Like we have a ×2 in there, maybe.
Yeah, I think I did the math wrong.
Way to go, Doug.
You can always count on you, Doug, to look at things with a clear eye. You're right. So 97.34 times 52.2 is actually 5,081. So if right, so if they use 2 hours for every week of the year, it'll be 5,000. My bad. I apologize for that.
Okay. Now that's 2 hours is equal to 97.34. Is that correct, Landis?
That's correct.
Okay. All right. Yeah. So we had a ×2 in there for some.
Sorry.
All right. We requested this a year ago. We now are going to need additional potential hours for Allery. I say we should leave it at the 15,000. The last request for 10,000 lasted about a year, a little over a year. And I think that's when we consider that Allery will be also drawing on this, I'd say we leave it at the 15,000. Anybody want to comment on that? Bailey?
No comment.
Okay, Doug, anything else?
No more questions.
Okay. Emilio?
I'm good.
Okay, Betsy?
No comment.
Al?
At 15,000, that means there'll be some there if we need it.
Right.
That's not a problem.
Okay. And I am in favor of the 15,000.
Okay.
So let's, we have a motion and it's been seconded for $15,000 to request the select board to approve this from the wetlands filing fee. All in favor? Bailey?
Aye.
Doug?
Aye.
Emilio?
Aye.
Betsy?
Aye.
Al?
Aye.
Jack? Aye. Okay. Aoife, are you still on?
Yeah, I'm still here.
Okay. Do I need to present this to the select board or is the application sufficient?
Landis, what did you do the last time?
Yeah, we usually, I have a form that I also send email, Jack. So if you can sign the form and then scan it back to me, that would be great. And then I just usually submit the form and a cover letter to the Board of Selectmen requesting their vote.
Okay, sounds good. So the next meeting for the board then will be the 26th, if you want to get it ready for that.
January 26th.
Yeah.
Okay. I have the form. I can mail it tomorrow.
Okay,
I
that's
don't,
fine.
yeah, I won't be able to scan it. I'll mail
Okay.
it tomorrow.
That's fine.
And
I mean, we have the
should
vote,
have it.
so I would just, the cover letter would state the vote and when the vote occurred and.
Okay. If the select board wants to have any discussion on that, let me know. And I can be available for a Zoom meeting.
Okay, absolutely. I'll chat with Jim whenever we get the request, and then we can go from there with it.
Okay, good. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Aren't you glad you stayed tuned in?
Absolutely.
Okay. Let's move on to 7:15. We have a request for determination of applicability from Joseph Callanan. Landis, can you read that in?
That's, yep, let me just find the right one. Plimpton Street. Legal notice, Town of Walpole, request for determination of applicability, Conservation Commission. In accordance with Massachusetts Wetlands Protection Act and the Town of Walpole Wetlands Protection Bylaw, notice is hereby given of the intent of Joseph Callahan for the installation of an electric generator at 139 Plimpton Street. Plans are on file with the Conservation Commission office. The public hearing on the above matter will be held during a virtually accessible video Zoom meeting on January 13th, 2021, beginning at 7:15. All interested parties are requested to be present. John Wiley, Chairman.
Time is now 7:22. And representing the applicant,
Russ Waldron, Applied Ecological Sciences.
okay, hi Russ. Okay, can you proceed with your presentation, please?
Sure thing. So this is, like Landis said, this is an electric generator, a backup generator. It's going in what is currently lawn area off the left end of the house as you're looking at the house from the driveway. It's going to sit on a 2.5 by 4.4 foot concrete pad, which will be sitting on over a top crushed stone. There's an existing propane tank in the lawn, not far from the generator site. And the electrical hookup is on that end of the house. And so that's why the generator is being sited there. The hookup will require digging 2 12-inch by 36-inch deep trenches to accommodate the propane and electric hookup, propane from the tank to the generator and electric from the generator to the control panel that'll be installed in the in the basement. And total riverfront disturbance is 11 square feet. Same with the buffer zone. Nothing in the 25-foot buffer zone. It is in the 0 to 100 riverfront, but that's just the most logical place to put it. Otherwise, it would take a lot more excavating, more trenching, and so it just wouldn't make any sense to put it anywhere else. You know, it's in close proximity to the existing tank and existing electrical hookup in the basement. And that's it.
Landis?
So I looked at the plan and it's really minimum disturbance of the riverfront area. It's not removing any existing vegetation other than lawn. It's putting in a utility and it's 50 feet away from the boundary of the river, which is the Neponset River. So due to the minimum alteration, I would recommend just a -3.
Okay. Any questions or comments? Bailey?
Yeah, I'm sorry, Landis. What's a -3?
It means that it's work within a resource areas under the Wetlands Protection Act, but no alteration.
Thank you.
Because it's technically within the riverfront area, but it's not really altering the riverfront area because it's a utility underground mostly.
Doug?
Just a question that I had. Is there any safety issue if the river floods and right over the top of that electrical generator? Or is it designed to just shut down in a situation like that?
Let's see, I'm trying to see. It is outside the flood zone. So by the FEMA map, it looks like the edge of the zone AE is, based on what I'm looking at, is just about contiguous with the edge of the wetland itself. So the house and the lawn area and all that is outside the flood zone. So theoretically, it would not flood up that high.
Okay,
If it did, I have to imagine that they have some safety systems built into these generators. You know, it's a permanent propane powered setup, so.
okay.
Okay. Emilio?
No comments.
Okay, Betsy?
No comment.
Al?
Does this tank supply gas to anything else?
I don't know.
So it's an existing tank in the ground. Has it ever been used, or is it old and about to be breached or something? Is there a problem with it? Why wasn't it used for something else?
Well, I don't know if it's currently being used. It could be, you know, for gas stove, gas dryer, something like that. I mean, that's what I have, you know, gas stove and gas dryer that runs off propane. So I would assume it's being used for something like that.
See, what I was concerned about when I saw it in red here on the plan, that was a new tank. And then I see the note saying existing tank. So it's a little confusing. Your note says existing, but the color shows it as part of the new project. Okay, so my question was, when you put a tank in like this near a wetland or something, will it float when it's because of high groundwater?
It's got to be above ground if it's a propane tank, isn't it, Ross?
Right.
I have a generator with a propane tank that also runs my stove. I mean, I don't know if I'm supposed to hypothesize, but when we got the generator put in, we just had to get a bigger propane tank because you need more propane if you're running a generator and a stove, but it's above ground. The propane.
Well, it says on the plan that it's underground.
Yeah, it is. It's a subsurface tank. It looks like it's in pretty good shape. I mean, the last time I was out there and, you know, looked at it when I was
Well, how
flagging.
can you look at it if it's underground?
Oh, it has a cover. You can open it right up.
Russ,
Yep.
this is Joe Callahan, the homeowner. It is an underground tank. It was put in 10 years ago on an addition we put on the house. It currently services a fireplace in our kitchen, my gas grill in the backyard, and also a fire pit in the backyard.
Okay. This is Jack Wiley addressing the homeowner then. So when you installed that, and what ongoing issues or things do you have to do to maintain that, since it is an underground tank?
Basically, I have a contract with Suburban Propane that come out on an annual basis to inspect it. I believe it's under laws of the Commonwealth to have it annually inspected.
And you do have it annually inspected.
Yes, sir.
Okay, Al, does that cover your concerns?
My only concern was if it's underground, what's to prevent it from floating up? I've seen that happen with fuel tanks, that's what drew my attention to it. I've seen tanks float up and break the connections and everything leaks out. So I'm not familiar with this particular one. I haven't seen that one, so I'm assuming since he's maintaining it every year, that they've taken care of those kind of problems.
Yeah, it's an underground vessel type tank that does have tie downs strapped around it also. It's not it's totally underground except for the hood. But it is like screw type anchors driven into the ground.
That answers my question.
Okay, good. Anyone else have any questions or comments? Please identify yourself. Okay, hearing none. Someone want to make a motion to close the hearing?
So moved.
Second, Betsy.
Okay, all in favor? Bailey,
Aye.
Doug,
Aye.
Emilio,
Aye.
Betsy,
Aye.
Al,
Aye.
Jack, aye. Okay, so we make this a -3, wasn't that right, Landis?
Yes, correct.
Okay, good. All right, thank you all.
All right, thank you.
Did we actually vote on it?
Yeah, we just voted, didn't we?
Well, you voted to close.
We voted to close, okay.
Usually
Let's
vote to close and you vote to issue the -3.
I don't think we did that.
We
You
need a
didn't.
vote. Okay, vote. Someone make a motion for a -3.
So moved, Al.
Second, Betsy.
All in favor, Bailey,
Aye.
Doug,
Aye.
Emilio,
Aye.
Betsy,
Aye.
Al,
Aye.
Jack, aye. Okay. Okay, we have another Rustic Road is the next one.
Yep, line add, we're at 7:32. Legal notice, Town of Walpole, notice of intent, Conservation Commission, public hearing in accordance with Massachusetts General Law, Chapter 131, Section 40, the Massachusetts Wetlands Protection Act, and the Walpole Wetlands Protection Bylaw. Notice is hereby given of the intent of Nathan, I'm probably not going to pronounce this right, Schultes, thank you. Schultes. For the construction of an addition at 153 Rustic Road. Plans are on file at the Conservation Commission Office, 135 School Street. The public hearing on the above matter will be held during a virtually accessible video Zoom meeting on January 13th, 2021, beginning at 7:20. All interested persons are requested to be present. John Wiley, Chairman, Walpole Conservation Commission.
Okay, representing the applicant.
Mr. Chairman, my name is John Glassa Engineering, 46 East Street in East Walpole. And I'm here representing Nathan Schultes, who is the applicant. So do you want me to attempt to do the old share screen, or Bailey will bail me out if I lose my...
Yes,
Okay.
please.
Of course, when you do that, then I lose it, but that I'll work it back. Just keep
Are you
going.
okay with that, Jack?
I get back there eventually. So, and I have the plan. So
Okay.
just keep going. And don't listen to what I mumble under my breath.
Okay, well, can everyone see the screen then?
Not yet.
No?
Not yet.
I can see it.
Nice.
No?
I can't
No.
see it.
Does he need permission?
uh,
Oh, okay.
Yep.
There we go.
Yeah.
I can see,
Must have worked because you lost me.
well, I can see scheduling made easy.
That's your screen, Landis.
Oh, that's my screen.
Yikes.
Oh, okay. See, so,
You are viewing Landis's screen.
and I've never done this. We usually have the applicant share. And now I don't have anything.
What the?
Go back to that Zoom icon. You were just at the bottom. Yep. And there should be a red button. Click on it so it opens up. There should be a red button for you that shows that you can stop screen share. A green
Above.
button says there you go.
Okay. Okay, so now we need Glosser to be able to share.
I got everybody back, but we don't have the plan.
Oops.
John?
Yes, I've already, you want me to start it over again? Now you've kind of, I have to,
We don't have your plan.
yeah, I'm gonna have to, okay.
Lee, you're gonna bail out John here?
No, I can see it now. Can you see it? No?
No.
Let me
No.
try it again.
John?
Go ahead, Bailey. Tell them what to do.
All right.
So do I
So
have
if
to
you
do
move
it
around-
within the white Bailey, or can I just go down below on my computer where the little file thing is?
If you're in your Zoom window where you're seeing everybody and you
Yeah.
kind of move your mouse around, there's kind of a nav bar that'll show up at the bottom. And there's a little green button that says share
Yeah.
screen.
Right, I did
And
that.
if you, okay. And then you tried to share a specific document or just try sharing your full screen. There you go. And now just pull up whatever document.
But can I pull it up from down here?
Mm-hmm. We're seeing you work now. We're watching you pull
Oh,
it up.
good. How do I look?
Great.
Excellent.
Wicked smart.
How's that look?
There
Now
we
I
go.
can see it?
Perfect.
Okay. All right, I know Nathan just texted me and they're trying to get onto the Zoom, but they're having a little trouble. But I'm pretty sure that this is, fairly routine for the Walpole Conservation Commission. Landis and I have had some conversations about this. So first of all, I'm just going to go to the Locus Map here. This is Route 1, right? McDonald's here, Dunkin' Donuts, Pier 1, which is now closed, right? So this is East Walpole up here. If you went straight across all the way down to the four-way stop in Norwood, that's Summer Street, you take a right, you go by maybe 10 or 12 houses, and you cross into Walpole. So you're heading up towards Coney Street and what's it called now? But anyway, and just on, you can see at the Norwood Walpole Town line, this is the site right here. So it's 150 Rustic Road. And now we can see on the, on the plan. This
There
is
you
the
go.
town line here. So we were just coming in this way. And there's an existing single-family house here, number 153. The wetlands actually are on the abutting property, which is the town of Norwood's Alfred Doherty Park. This part of the park is just simply a natural area. The developed part of the park is farther into Norwood. This is part of the Grandview Estates subdivision that the town of Norwood did back in the 80s and 90s. So this is wooded here. There's a huge stone wall here. There is, it's not really shown the best, but there's a chain link fence 6 feet high all the way along that the town of Norwood put up here, runs along the street and runs all the way along the property here. The other biggest feature is that you can see here, there's a drain manhole, there's some catch basins, and this is uphill going up towards Coney Street. And there's 6 or maybe 5 or 6 catch basins that tie into this drain system, and it exits right here. And then it runs in a ditch. There's a little bridge that I'm not sure if Nathan built that or the predecessor owner, but there's a little bridge if you want to cross over it. And then it goes through the wall, through the fence, and into the wetlands here. So what Nathan wants to do is he wants to add on. So this is the existing driveway here to the left side of the house. 16 by 26 right here, and then to the right rear corner of the house, 18 by 18, and then a wood deck here. So it's a nice house, and I think Nathan's gonna, make it even nicer by adding on these 2 additions. So, and also we would extend the driveway out a little bit here to serve this. So I'm going to guess that this is part of a garage. And so what we've shown is a compost sock all the way around sort of the limit of work here. Again, you can see from the contours, this is downhill going towards the wetlands here. So that's about the limit of compost sock that you would need. And we show a stabilized construction entrance here. Now, all of this area, except maybe this, which we're showing wooded here, is actually grass right to the wall. So here's our 25-foot no disturb. I did not show any plaques. If we do put plaques, they're going to be in the existing lawn. So that's sort of up to the commission if that's what you want Nathan to do. And so the other part of this, Landis and I have had some emails back and forth. So Landis seems to think this is an intermittent stream versus just a drainage ditch. So we don't really have a problem labeling an intermittent stream and showing a 25-foot no disturb around it. And I think, and not to take the wind out of Landis's sails, but the other thing Landis thinks the commission would like to see is for these new roofs, some infiltration. I can do that. They'd be fairly shallow but we can do it, probably get a 1/2 inch off of the roof into the ground. But as you can see, we're at elevation 100 here. The wetlands are probably around 96 or so. So we don't have a lot of separation to groundwater table, but I think it's reasonable. Probably some sort of shallow infiltration trench off of each of the downspouts. So I guess other than that, Mr. Chairman, I can answer any questions that you or the members of the board or anyone in the audience, so to speak, have.
Okay. Landis?
Yep, so I went out and took a look at the site and the area that's labeled a drainage ditch. So it's an open, there was a fair amount of water in there when I was there, body of water. And there's another, this is one of these areas where it's kind of a weird hydrology. There's another stream that runs on the back side of the lots on the other side of the street. So I didn't know if there was some connection or perhaps at some point a connection between the two, or if there's an underground connection. But the area, the intermittent stream or drainage ditch, it is shown on the USGS map as a linear wetland. So I wanted it to be designated as an intermittent stream rather than just a drainage ditch. So since John said okay, I think he's willing to do that. Then with the additional proposed additions, yeah, whatever water we can get into the ground is good. I know there's probably a high, they're close to the water table. So when they're excavating, so is this just going to be frost walls? There's not going to be a basement, is it, John?
Well, this one's frost walls here. This house, as you can see, the top of foundation is 106 and we're on a 102. So most of this house is sticking out of the ground anyway. So even if it has a basement, that basement's only, 3.5 feet into the ground.
Right. So just when they excavate, if they have to dewater, it should go to, an area which is designated for the water to be pumped to, and then clean water discharged from that area and not just run into the wetlands.
Yeah, I'll add a note.
They should have a
That's
dewatering
good-
plan.
That's a good point, Lance. I'll add some notes on some dewatering onto the plan.
Okay, anything else, Landis?
And then just ask if there's any excess excavated material, it'll be trucked out because it doesn't seem like you have any grade changes or.
Yeah, we're not anticipating any grade changes, so I will add that note to the plan as well.
Okay. Bailey,
That's
any questions or comments?
No, thank you.
Okay, Doug?
Yeah, I have just one question. With the corner of the proposed addition being 31.5 feet from the town of Norwood, does Norwood have any jurisdiction over this?
Well, the town of Norwood was notified, so I don't see them on the call. But are you mean as far as zoning or as far as filing with the
Or is it
conservation?
wetlands, conservation, town of Norwood?
I don't think I'm required to file in both towns. The work is in the town of Walpole, so that's the town we file in.
Okay, just curious.
Yeah, no, I understand the question. I think like a planning board, you end up filing in both towns for something like this, but not for if you were, like subdividing or something, but not conservation. It's one town or the other, and it's the town where the work is done.
Okay.
But you notified it, John, you notified the abutters that were in Norwood, right?
Yes.
Okay. Anything else, Doug?
No, that's it.
Okay, Emilio?
No comments.
Betsy?
No comment.
No?
Only comment is dewatering, make sure it doesn't go into the wetland.
Okay, I think that Landis was going to, John said he would take care of that. Is that right, John?
Yes, I'm gonna add some notes that we typically add to the plan about, what to use, like a dirt bag, that sort of stuff, and that any dewatering needs to be approved by the engineer and by the conservation agent prior to implementation of that. So we'll make sure that the dewatering isn't just done without the knowledge of myself and Landis
Okay.
about exactly how it's going to be done.
Okay. Is that okay with you, Landis?
Yeah, we can just echo that in the order that a dewatering plan should be submitted and approved.
The question comes up about plaques. Do we want them on here? This is all lawn, you said, John? The 25-foot no disturb?
It's all lawn except for, as you can see, there's that squiggly line sort of in the left front corner where it kind of says lawn. It says 25-foot no disturb and it says lawn right in here. That's wooded. That's kind of lightly wooded in there. I mean, if you want some, plaques along here or something. I don't know.
I'm in favor of the plaques. Anybody else have any reason to want to include plaques?
Plaques didn't come to mind for this particular thing for me, but no.
Anybody else? We can,
Just as I said, Mr. Chairman, there's a 6-foot fence that, a safety fence or, a fence to keep people out of the park when they're not supposed to be in the park all along here. So the wetlands here is well protected.
okay,
And
good enough.
this wall is a big stone wall. It's probably, 2 feet high and 3 or 3.5 feet wide. So this
Okay.
part of the wetlands very well protected.
Okay. All right, so I want to make motion to close the hearing. Do we have any other comments or questions from anyone in the audience? I don't see anybody chiming in, so.
Yeah, if you have a question, just unmute yourself and jump in. I don't think there is.
Okay, so someone make a motion to close the hearing.
So moved, Al.
Second, Betsy.
All in favor, Bailey,
Aye.
Doug,
Aye.
Emilio,
Aye.
Betsy,
Aye.
Al,
Aye.
Jack, aye. Okay. And we have the order and with the notation as indicated, as Landis has indicated, so someone. make
Right,
that
I
a
would just
motion?
include the roof drains and the dewatering plan. And then, but you're gonna put those both on the plan the revised plan, John, and the designation of the stream, intermittent stream.
Right, I have 4 things: dewatering, excess material to be removed, add intermittent stream to instead of the drainage ditch,
Yeah,
and add infiltration from the downspouts.
okay, great.
Okay, someone make that a motion?
So moved, Al.
Second, Betsy.
Okay, all in favor, Bailey,
Aye.
Doug,
Aye.
Emilio,
Aye.
Betsy,
Aye.
Al,
Aye.
Jack, aye. Okay, thanks, John.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Thanks, everybody. Thanks, Landis.
Thank you.
Yeah. Thanks, Bailey. You bailed me out again.
Most welcome.
Okay. Okay, next is a request for determination from Wall Street Development on the Pinnacle Drive determination of historic mill complex. Okay, you want to read that in, Landis?
Yep. Town of Walpole requests for determination of applicability, Conservation Commission, public hearing in accordance with Mass General Law, Chapter 131, Section 40, Wetlands Protection Act, and the Town of Walpole Wetlands Protection Bylaw. Notice is hereby given of the intent of Wall Street Development to determine if land located at map 19, lot 183, Pinnacle Drive is land formerly associated with a historic mill complex, and therefore not subject to the regulations as work in the riverfront area. Plans are on file at the Conservation Commission office. The public hearing on the above matter will be held in Walpole Town Hall or via virtual accessible video beginning on November 4th, 2020, but at 7:45 on January 13th. All interested parties are requested to be present. John Wiley, Chairman, Walpole Conservation Commission.
Okay, representing the applicant.
Hi, Mr. Chairman. This is Paul McManus at Ecotech. Mr. Petrozzi from Wall Street is hoping to be here, but is at another meeting tonight. And he hopefully will be joining, but I'm going to walk you through quickly the filing. So basically, this is the old Bird Mill complex. As the commission is aware, Mr. Petrozzi has filed an appeal with DEP relative to the commission's finding that the Bird Pond is riverine and has associated riverfront. That's going on. This filing that he made here is in the event that his appeal is not successful, and the commission's determination that it is a river with riverfront is upheld by DEP.
Well, that has nothing to do with this particular hearing, so just stick with what is pertinent to this hearing.
Sure, no, that's fine. Just want to be upfront.
That's under, hey, just stick with
Okay.
this issue, please.
Understood. So the matter at hand basically is, as you know, historic mill complexes were exempted from the riverfront regs. When one has a river, a historic mill complex that's within 200 feet of that area is not part of the riverfront. This request for determination is seeking a determination from the commission that the property qualifies as a historic mill complex. The issue, if I may share my screen, is that okay?
Yes.
So this, I'll actually use this letter from Ponset River Watershed Association. They're here, and I'm sure would like to speak, but that's the first thing that came up. And basically, this is the language which Mr. Petrosi put in the filing, and that Ponset River also put in their letter. Talks about the definition of a historic mill complex. This is 10.04 of the wetland regs. It talks about mill complexes in certain places, but not limited to. And there's a couple of criteria that have to be met. In existence prior to 1946. I think that's a well-established fact, but we can go into that if necessary. And then it talks about situated landward of the waterside facade of a retaining wall, building, sluiceway, other structure in existence in 1996. And I've highlighted facade of a retaining wall because it's quite clear from being on the property that there is a very substantial retaining wall. Whoop, sorry, I don't know what happened to my picture there. On the property that runs for quite a distance, more or less parallel to the water line. So there's a number of other documents in the filing, including old Sanborn fire insurance atlases, which show the various structures and uses even of those structures out there. But I wanted to point out that language that talks about in terms of structures, talks about as an example retaining wall. And as I said, there's a series of pictures in there that show that retaining wall, and above it is a substantial hard surface, concrete and perhaps asphalt in some areas, I'm not sure, facility remnant up there. So that's really the crux of the issue, Mr. Chairman. It's a fairly pointed question in terms of does the historic mill complex exemption apply to this property? I should also say that Mr. Petrosi told me to be very upfront and intend to request a continuance for a month or so for the commission to digest this, perhaps take a look at the site and whatever. So there's no, you'll certainly get no pressure from this side to close and make a determination tonight.
Okay. Landis?
Yeah, so So I read over the material and the aerials and the 10.04 definition. So in the 10.04 definition, a historic mill complex includes only the footprint of the area that is or was occupied by interrelated buildings. So I guess my question is, this is a 3.63 acre site. What portion of this site has these interrelated buildings, the wall and the old foundations? It's not the whole entire site. So do you have a plan of the lot and where these structures are located?
There's the Sanborn maps are there, but no, at this point, there's no, there's no survey grade property plan that that plots those limits on it.
So the Sanborn maps, yeah, it just shows sort of let's call it the upper part of the lot, which was closest to the really mill complex, which is now the Riverwalk Commons, where a portion of that was located on this particular lot, but it doesn't look like it was located on all the lots. So is it your understanding that exemption, if there's some remnants of the mill complex, then you take the whole 6.63 acres of the lot, even the areas where there is no remnant of the mill complex? Because that's where I get unsure, because the regs say the mill complex only includes the footprint of the area where the buildings were, or wall, or et cetera.
Well, it does talk about, manufacturing buildings, housings, utilities, parking areas, driveways.
I know, but looking at the old aerials, photographs, and being out there, it doesn't appear that the whole mill complex occupied the 3.63 acres that I think that Wall Street is asking to be determined to be exempt from the rivers.
Yeah,
I don't think that's correct.
Right, there is not, the RDA did not include a plan with that superimposed.
Okay.
Okay, so it seems to me the commission would need to know what portion of the site they're determining to be part of the historic mill complex exemption.
Okay.
I'm just
Anything else? I think you make a very good point, Landis. Anything else?
No, that was the main point that I had at this.
Bailey, any questions or comments?
No, thank you.
Okay, Doug,
Not at this time.
Emilio?
Yeah, I think we need to wait and get a better idea of what the area comprised of as far as structures and so on before we can make any sort of determination. But that's all I have right now.
Betsy?
Yeah, I've been studying this legalese here, and it just seems really clear to me that word footprint. We don't usually see that word footprint, but there it is. It's not, it's not all that vague. But I've walked out there, not recently. I've walked out there maybe a couple of years ago, because there is a sort of a trail there, not a great trail, but there is a sort of a trail. So I know you've got those cement structures and the retaining walls and the bits of asphalt. And I know you've got that skating area that the bird company set up for its employees to go skating, which is really wonderful, that I would include. I would love to see it on a map. I mean, that's how we're going to make the decision. We're going to see all this stuff on the map, and then we're going to say, oh, that fraction of the property is in the footprint. But I'm kind of thinking from studying the Sanborn maps and the others that it's not the entire property. But I would say don't come back before us if you don't have that particular plan, with the footprints located.
Okay. Al?
I agree with Betsy.
Okay. Yeah, I think we're all in agreement. You need to present a plan of the area that you are claiming is part of the old mill site. And what portion of these 3.63 acres does this pertain to? So when
Can I
can
just
you?
add, sorry to interrupt you, but if you need to do any work regarding clearing, which has already been done to determine these areas, please contact me first and let's go over any areas that you have to manipulate in order to collect the information.
Understood. I will be sure that that gets passed along.
Could I come back and ask a question? I just jotted this down in my notes. You said something about 20, within 20 feet. Where's the legalese on that? I mean,
I don't think I said anything about 20 feet.
I mean, not 20, 200 feet, 200 feet.
Oh, no, I'm just saying that the riverfront is ordinarily 200 feet.
Oh.
But when that line bumps into a historic mill complex, then it stops. That's all.
Oh, okay, thank you.
All right, so how long is it going to take you to get the information we need so we can continue the hearing?
I would say 30 days, or approximately however your next your meeting falls, roughly a month from now.
You'll be able to have that information into us prior to the meeting so we can review it. We're looking for something to come in the day of our hearing.
Understood. A week before is that?
Is that all right, Landis?
That should be fine. Jack, I'll
Okay.
remind you, there may be a couple of people that want to speak. I'm not sure. I know they're.
Yeah, no, I expect there are, but I'll just say if we can't get it to you a week ahead of time, then we would expect to be pushed out.
Okay. All right, anyone in the audience who wants to speak, please identify yourself.
Hi, my name is Carrie Snyder with the Neponset River Watershed Association. I just wanted to let you know that I submitted an additional letter this morning, just reiterating that we don't think what is presently on the property qualifies as a structure under the regulations. But after I shared the letter with Mr. Petrozzi, we had a conversation, and so we'd like to continue that conversation between now and the next meeting.
Okay, did you send that to me?
I did, yeah, this morning.
Okay.
I think it was maybe 11-ish. I can resend it, Landis.
Yeah, resend it because
Sure.
I don't see it.
Yep.
Anyone else who has comments, please identify yourself.
Hi, my name is Virginia Ryan. I'm with the Town Walpole Trail Committee.
Okay.
I just wanted to address briefly that comment about the Pinnacle Trail. I just want to reiterate the Pinnacle Trail, the Walpole Trail Committee maintains it, works hard to maintain it. It's a very important part of the trail system around Bird Pond and very much appreciated by the East Walpole neighborhood as well as residents of Walpole and other towns. And it's a very important trail. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Anyone else have any other comments? Okay. What do we got on our agenda for?
So on the 27th, we have a 701, a 715, which is Summer Street. So, and then I hadn't.
Talking about February.
Yeah, Landis, that's 2 weeks.
February 10th.
Won't be sufficient.
Be
So
looking
February-
at 10th.
February 10th, we don't have anything scheduled yet.
Okay, so we can schedule this for 7 PM
Okay.
at February 10th. Someone make that a motion?
I'll move it.
Betsy? And
Betsy, yeah.
who seconded it?
Emilio.
Emilio seconded, thank you. Okay, all in favor, Bailey,
Aye.
Doug,
Aye.
Emilio,
Aye.
Betsy,
Aye.
Al,
Aye.
Jack, aye. Okay, so we're 7 o'clock on February 10th. Okay?
Thank you all very much. Have a good night.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, there we go. Now we're back. So,
I'm out again. Okay.
hi, Mr. Pronounce your name. Yeah, so John Glosser presented your project.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I was having a hard time getting on, and I just wanted to say hi.
Okay.
You know, my meeting's over, and
Yeah.
he got everything. I mean, he was representing me anyways, but I just like to meet the people that I'm working with. That's all, you know.
Yep. Jack,
So.
this is the owner from Rustic Road, so.
Yep. I see that. Okay.
So that's all. Just wanted to say hi. You know.
Okay. Hi to you. See everybody.
All right, I'm gonna leave now. All right.
Good. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, we have a hearing for 23 Daisy Drive. You want to read that in, Landis?
Yep. Legal notice, Town of Walpole, Notice of Intent, Conservation Commission Public Hearing in accordance with Mass General Law, Chapter 131, Section 40, Wetlands Protection Act, and the Walpole Wetlands Bylaw. Notice is hereby given of the intent of Daniel B. Yame for the construction of an addition at 23 Daisy Drive. Plans are on file at the Conservation Commission Office, 135 School Street. The public hearing on the above matter will be held during a virtually accessible video Zoom meeting on January 13th, 2021, beginning at 7:45 p.m. All interested parties are requested to be present. John Wiley, Chairman, Walpole Conservation Commission. It's 8:12.
Okay, representing the applicant.
Good evening. This is Evan Watson with W Engineering, representing the owner, Daniel Bienemy. We can, I share my screen. Start off with the location. So Daniel's house is located at 23 Daisy Drive. It's at the end of Daisy Drive, and it's right on the edge of the town of Walpole town line. This is the town of Walpole and Norfolk. Sounds familiar? It's right off of Lincoln Road. And to the north, we have a river. This is the sewage treatment plant for the town of Norfolk. And as such, there is a river fronts and associated BVW on this property. So what we submitted to you is this plan. Resource area, the wetland is highlighted in blue. The 200-foot riverfront, which is associated with the top of bank out here, is highlighted in pink. And I highlighted the 25-foot no disturb zone. The property is currently improved with an existing two-story, one-family dwelling. Some grass in the back, grass in the front, and one driveway that runs up the side of it. What Danny would like to do, he's currently in the process of renovating the structure inside. And what he would like to do is fix up the driveway, add an addition, which on the first story would be a probably a 2-car garage, 2 to 3-car garage here. Probably have 2 doors, but enough to fit 2 cars and maybe some tools and things and such. And then an addition above. So what we did is once we looked and found where the resource area was, we were able to kind of angle the proposed addition so that we followed the topography to have the least amount of impact to the land and to be parallel to the no disturb zone. Proposing there's a small increase in the amount of impervious area. We are proposing over existing driveway. So the actual increase in impervious area is relatively low, but I did provide a Tech dry well, and one in the front, one in the back, to pick up 1 inch of rainwater. And then what we did is, again, this lot was in existence prior to the Riverfront Protection Act, and it's a single family home. However, we're pretty close on the 5,000 square foot limit that we asked for today. So what we did is I took a look at what the actual disturbed area is now, and I did a little analysis up here. So the current disturbed area within the riverfront is about 5,400 square feet. And what we're proposing is 4,984, so less than 5,000 square feet. What we would do is we would add a post and rail fence along the edge of, to pull away, because you could see the existing grass goes into the 25-foot disturb zone. So when the project is complete, we'll have everything outside the 25-foot no disturb zone, and will be under the 5,000 square foot limit. So that was the plan as proposed. I have a couple of details. We have the compost sock filter mitt, we have the post and rail fence, and the dry wells. Landis met with the wetland scientist, what's it, Bruce from Ecosystems? Yeah, Ecosystem Solution, sorry. And they did a review of the wetland line together, and Landis asked to add this flag, wetland flag A7-A. And she sent me a little sketch with some swing ties, so I used those to locate that flag. What that does is it pulls the 25-foot no disturb a little bit closer to the garage. So we can put the fence about 6 feet off of the garage. So it's enough to get a lawnmower or something around the back. And Daniel said that's okay with him because he'd rather just not maintain that, less area to maintain, and he'd rather take advantage of the backyard. The other comment we received was to identify the existing septic system. And when I did that, it became evident that's why the limit of clearing goes out this far like this. So I relocated the post and rail fence to the limit of the septic system here. But by pulling in, I think we had this fence came out this way, we pulled it back. And if you look at the calculation, we're still able to be under 5,000 square feet and well below what's existing now. So still as proposed with the addition of the garage, we get to infiltrate some stormwater. 100% of the site disturbance is outside the 25-foot no disturb zone, and we're under the 5,000 square feet. I think Landis did mention something about maybe proposing some placards as well. She sent me a spec. And if we want to do placards, I looked at your regs. It said you could put them on a post and rail fence or a more permanent marker. I think either one would be fine. I took something I've done in some of my past projects. This is a photograph of a marker that I've used on other sites. This site is a residential subdivision that has natural heritage habitat nearby. And so the Department of Fisheries and Wildlife, we worked with them to put a post similar to this. That's a fiberglass post that doesn't degrade. And then that's a vinyl placard that's attached to it that's. So if we don't want to put on the fence, we could also provide something like that. Or if that's too different than what you're used to looking at, we could do concrete as well. Okay. So this time, I don't know if anybody has any questions. Landis, I did send you the green cards before the meeting in an email, so I can mail those over to you.
Yeah, I got the email, just mail the originals, please.
Okay, thanks.
Landis?
Yep, so Evan went through a lot of things that we discussed. I did also ask them to put the state restricted wetlands line on the plan because the original order of conditions for the house, which was done long ago, did include that, and it included a condition that no fill should occur within 50 feet of the state restricted line. So that was wetlands 3. So they did include that on the plan. I was a little concerned with the closeness of the garage to the no alteration area, and if it was going to be flat enough to, at least get around there. So that's a concern. That was a concern. And then for the infiltration, the roof called dry well to the rear, mostly to the rear, is just, do you know what the groundwater elevation is? On your plan anywhere?
Sure. I reviewed the test pit data that he gave me, and it said it was about 48 inches from existing grade. So that puts us at about the wetland elevation. We got 1, 2, 4 there. So we could technically move this to the front and have both of them out front if that's a concern. That would, make easy work of it.
Yeah, we just don't, we don't want them sitting in the groundwater so that they're discharging in, not completely in the groundwater, so.
Yeah, I can make a foot above groundwater. I think I'd have trouble making 2 feet above groundwater here. If you look at the spec, the actual stone is about 2 feet.
Mhm.
So if I had 2 feet, I would be 1 foot above seasonal water, and then I'd have a foot of cover. So
I'll
if
let
that's acceptable.
I'll let the other commissioners address that. I just took a workshop at the New Hampshire Stormwater Center, and they were talking about a lot of this infiltration that goes into the ground is lateral movement rather than down into the ground. So it probably would be fine. And then the septic system. So you said, so the septic system is located out to the rear. And is that what that the square is where the septic is?
Yes, and when I reviewed the plan, a septic plan usually calls for a primary system and a reserve system for future use. And it appears that on the as-built that they installed one double-sized system. So the plan was to have a 24 by 43, and we have a 43 by 48. So that's why it's relatively large. And if the system did need to be replaced, we'd likely go with a chamber type system, and it would be about 50% of that size again. And we could move it up. We would likely have it moved up a little bit closer to here. So.
Okay, the health department in their comment letter just asked that before construction that the septic system area be delineated in the field so that it's not compromised during construction.
That would be smart, yeah.
Anything else, Landis?
I think that covers it.
Okay. Haley?
No comment.
Doug?
I had one of the same concerns Landis had as far as the no disturb zone and how close it was to the proposed addition during the construction. Will that be an issue, having such a close tolerance?
So what we are proposing is first to install, I think I have the 4-foot high orange construction fence to go first behind the filter mitt. So we would have the orange construction fence laid here. And then this grading probably wouldn't occur until once, the concrete and everything was done. And then we would have that orange construction fence there all the time, and then the filter mitts. So it'll be a little bit tight. It'll be uncomfortable, I think, for the guys, but with a good solid orange construction fence there, I think that will mark everything out just fine for everybody. And Daniel, he's actually, I think you're GCing the project, right? And he owns a construction company that redevelops houses and things, so he's familiar with this type of work.
Yep, that's correct.
Okay, thank you.
Medio?
Should you show that on the plan, the construction fence and the straw wattle? You can have straw wattles there along the
Compost.
Yes, compost.
Yeah,
Yeah.
compost. So I have here, there's the start of erosion control and post and rail fence. And then we have end of erosion control post and rail fence. And then on the detail, I gotta move.
Okay, I didn't quite see that.
I show it here. Yep.
Okay. All right. And you're not stockpiling any soil on site during construction, or?
No, I think it'll be a net excavation, because we're gonna have to take some topsoil away for the driveway, and there is no basement here.
Okay.
But they'll still have to excavate for the foundations. So I would expect that they would take this to the front where it could be loaded into a triaxle and hauled away.
Right. Okay, that's all I've got.
Betsy?
No comment.
No. Al, any comments?
No comment.
Okay. I think we should have the plaques, and if you're using those fiberglass, I think that would work along as well as the concrete, whatever works for you. And we do have wording. You're familiar with the wording that we have for our plaques?
Yes, it was. She sent it to me right here.
So you could use that wording and use your fiberglass. The post and rail eventually breaks down. So depending upon who the homeowner is, whether they keep them or not, so that I think either the concrete or the fiberglass post for the sign would be appropriate. And let's see, 25 foot. No, I think you could locate one at the property line. Yeah, I'm looking at on the head wall, where the head wall is.
Mhm.
You got a 25-foot crosses that. And then one where your erosion control comes in.
Mhm.
Okay. And then where it bends out in the back goes, what direction is that? Kind of.
I sent him a little
No, it's
sketch
straight up.
that he has on his screen now, Jack.
Yeah, if you can see that. Yeah, Landis sent me this to just go straight
I'm ahead
across
of
the
you.
25 foot.
Okay. All right. Okay. So you got.
Does that look good, Jack?
Looks good to me.
5 plaques scattered at the turns, on the property lines.
Okay.
Sounds good. Okay. Anybody in the audience have any questions or comments? Please identify yourself. Okay, hearing none. Someone make a motion to close the hearing?
I'll second, Betsy.
Okay, that was Al made the motion. All in favor, Bailey,
Aye.
Doug,
Aye.
Medio,
Aye.
Betsy,
Aye.
Al,
Aye.
Jack, aye. Okay, and the order, as we have discussed, anything else, Landis, we need to add?
I don't think so. I think we covered everything pretty thoroughly. So what we would do is draft the order and we would wait for the revised plan to be submitted to us. If you could send 2 hard copy plans and then a digital copy. And then once we get that, then we can finalize the order.
Okay. We'll make
Okay.
a motion.
I'll send you a revised plan with the green cards.
Yeah.
We'll make that a motion for the order as noted.
I will move it, Betsy.
Second, We have a second?
Second, Emilio.
Okay, all in favor, Bailey,
Aye.
Doug,
Aye.
Emilio,
Aye.
Betsy?
Jack, did you call my name?
Yeah, Betsy.
Yes, aye.
Okay, Al?
Aye.
Jack, aye. Okay, thank you. Where are we?
Thank you very much. Have a good night.
Okay,
Thank you.
Okay, we have an issue that has come up that the New England Forestry Foundation, otherwise known as NEF, NEFF, has a piece of property that abuts the former estate, the land of Mrs. Warren. And it is on North Street and it goes down to the Willett Pond. It's about, what was that, 3 acres, Landis? Yeah, it's a small parcel, and it is
Yeah,
across
3 or
the
4
street.
acres.
3 point what?
3 or 4 acres.
3
I
to 4
sent
acres.
aerial GIS to everybody to look at.
So they have of the impression that it doesn't really fit the mission of New England Forestry Foundation, and would like to suggested that maybe the Conservation Commission would be interested in pursuing the purchase of that parcel. It is across the street from an additional area. There's a field there that was part of the Warren estate and is now part of New England Forestry Foundation. The field and a large parcel of woods that also abut other parcels, Adams Farm and other parcels that New England Forestry owns that are part of the Adams Farm, general area on the, would be the west side of North Street. They would give us an easement across their property to get to this, and then we'd have to cross North Street to actually access it. But at this point, it's kind of exploratory. We had a site visit with the Trails Committee with Glenn Maffey and Landis and I and the New England Forestry folks. So I would just like at this point to get an indication of whether the Conservation Commission is interested in pursuing the further discussions with New England Forestry about this parcel of land. So anybody have any comments or questions? Bailey?
No, not this time, thanks.
Okay. Doug?
Do they have a asking price?
No, not at this point. We mentioned in our discussion that we had recently, the Conservation Commission had recently purchased 8 acres of property abutting Adams Farm on the west side, and we purchased that for $10,000. We indicated to them that if you looked at so-called market price, that wouldn't probably fly, that we were looking for a reasonable valuation on this, and they were going to go back to their board with the same kind of comments as to how it fits with their mission and how it fits with conservation. Anything else, Doug?
Not at this time.
Okay. Medio?
So this parcel abuts the New England Forestry Foundation map 9 lot 18. Is that it?
Landis, do you have that in front of you?
Well, that is the parcel, the GIS map that I sent you in red, New England Forestry Foundation.
That is the,
That's the parcel.
sorry,
There's
that
a-
is,
Yeah,
oh,
yeah.
I'm
There's a
sorry.
narrow piece that goes out to North Street, and then it abuts the David Parkinson property and the Nepra Willet Pond property. or
Okay.
It's a land holding, sorry.
Gotcha. Sorry, all right, I got you. Okay.
Yeah, and it's 2.84 acres.
Yep. Okay. Yeah. I mean, I'm certainly would be in favor of it, getting it, but if the price is right.
Okay. Betsy.
Yeah, two comments or maybe questions. Yeah, the price should be right, because I think it's not a buildable lot. And if it were owned by a private person who was doing forestry, they'd have it under chapter protection, and to make sure that the assessed value wasn't, over the top. So I really hope that it's part of the mission of the forestry people to keep that in conservation and not part of their mission to do anything else with it. But then a second question suddenly occurred to me that I would really like to have answered, and maybe Doug has some insight on this, being close to Willet Pond as he is. So Willet Pond is one of these gigantic, frustrating, beautiful bodies of water that nobody in Walpole is allowed to go near unless they live on Willet Pond. And then they get to go on Willet Pond. So it's like this giant body of water that I'm not allowed to kayak on, right?
That's not true. Not true.
Oh,
No, it has changed.
Not true.
Where would I get in? Well, don't tell me later where I would get in.
Brook Street.
Oh, okay. But would this be an access point for the public for Willet Pond? I mean, would this become the go-to place? There'd be a little parking area out in the front, a little trail down to, bring your whatever. Would this suddenly become the place for the public to put boats and stuff in?
This was discussed with Neff. Of course, it depends on the Neponset River Landholding Corporation because they own the property adjacent to the water. But two things. There's no parking. There's no area for parking. We'd have to have a pullout where you could maybe pull in temporary parking, but basically use Adams Farm for parking.
Why couldn't we make our own parking area, Jack?
Not big enough. It's very narrow. It's possible,
Narrow
but
frontage.
very little, not that much frontage, and it's also
Slopey.
North Street that it would become a problem. I think we could do a pullout to temporary park, very limited time parking. So you could drop off your motorboat or whatever, kayak, I'm sorry.
Yeah, yacht.
Yeah. And then go park at Adams Farm. And that's why we would want an easement from Adams Farm to be able to cross, to get to that, and then we'd have to cross North Street, which we'd have to discuss that with the DPW and the engineering department. So I wouldn't expect it to be a parking area, but we could look at that and see what would happen. But yes, it would be access like anybody else who has property on abutting the Willet Pond, that they'd have to get the permission or lease agreement from Neponset River Landholding to have access to the pond.
Yeah, that's correct. And just one other clarification. Over on Brook Street, there is public access right now for people with kayaks and canoes to access the pond. That's off of Brook Street.
There's one parking spot there, right?
Yeah, that is the problem. There's very limited parking.
Yeah, and Jack, I'm not completely buying that with 2.84 acres, you can't put a little parking area in here.
Well, we might, but we'd still want the access from Adams Farm.
I just think that there could be an opportunity here for water activities, that Adams Farm doesn't give us, right? So it's great that Adams Farm is nearby, but this is a big body of water. And
That's why I said we would have anticipated some ability to pull off and drop your kayak and then come back, just that there wouldn't be a huge parking area. So, okay, we'll
Yeah.
keep that in mind. We can pursue that later. Now, anything else, Betsy?
not at the moment. I want to pursue the parking, but okay. But I guess I'm getting ahead of myself. Maybe they want $100,000 for it, in which case.
Yeah.
You'd have to
Emilio,
take a
did
lot
you-
of trees down for parking too.
Who, Al, did you have any comments?
Not at this point.
Okay. Anybody else? Did I hear somebody else want to make a comment?
And Jack, it was just a media. I was just wondering, that piece that goes out to north, how wide is that roughly? Do you know?
That abuts North Street?
Yeah, that narrow.
Yeah, it's like, I'm trying to remember, 150 feet maybe? It's a triangular piece.
Right, but the width, no, but the width of that strip is.
The
is
width
that-
of the strip is narrow, and I don't have that in
Yeah, I'm
front
not
of me.
sure either.
Yeah.
I'm not sure.
Maybe
Narrow
100
though.
feet or so, but it's a nice wooded area.
It is.
Also, it goes over to the neighbor's property who has been mowing the lawn there and extending his so-called property with a lawn.
Oh, yeah.
And New England Forestry was going to take that up with the abutter as to establishing where their property line is. So that it's a nice, I think it's a nice opportunity. At this point, what I would like to do is have a vote that we would like to pursue this with further discussions with New England Forestry. Someone
Can
want to
I
make
add
that
one more
motion?
thing, Jack?
Yep, go ahead.
I am no expert on this, but I do recall that I believe it was Mrs. Warren that deeded the property to New England Forestry. Do we know whether there are some restrictions put on it at that time that would remain on it?
I believe it can't be developed.
Yeah, so that's probably not allowing. Developing would include, it probably can't have a parking lot.
Might be a parking lot. There's also a stream. The one border, the northerly border is a stream. So
But
that,
if it's got a restriction, that should help with the asking price. I mean, that's kind of what those restrictions do.
yeah, no, development was that, and that was, we kind of discussed a little bit in a pull-off area, I think would be okay. There's also topography. It's a drop from the North Street. You have a 2 or 3 foot drop from North Street down to the property. So you got to take that into account as well. But I think those are things we can certainly work out later. But at this point, I'd like just a vote that would say we are interested in pursuing further discussion with New England Forestry. That's New England Forestry Foundation, just for the record. Someone make that a motion?
I'll make it.
That was Emilio?
Yep.
Okay, do we have a second?
Second.
Betsy, okay. All in favor, Bailey?
Aye.
Doug?
Aye.
Emilio?
Aye.
Betsy?
Aye.
Al?
Aye.
Jack, aye. Okay, thank you. And we'll just keep you posted as things come up. I think he said that their board meeting was in February. So this is nothing that's going to happen overnight. so it's going to take a little time. What else do we have to do here? You had minutes on here, Landis. Do we have any minutes that have been?
We don't have the minutes yet. We'll have them ready for next meeting.
Okay.
Oh, no, I'm sorry. We had the September 9th minutes that I sent out that I know Doug looked at. Did anyone else look at it?
I'm trying to remember.
Those are the minutes you actually voted to approve last time, but they hadn't been done yet, but they are done now and I sent them out.
Okay. Doug, you want to make that a motion to accept the minutes of November 9th? September 9th, I'm sorry.
September 9th.
The couple corrections I made are incorporated into it.
Yes, Doug.
Yeah, okay.
Yep.
I'll move we accept.
We have a second?
I'll second Betsy.
Betsy, okay. All right, who was there? So you'll have to, was Bailey there?
I think so.
Okay.
Does it say at the top of the minutes?
Well,
Yeah,
Kevin?
I'm there. I was there.
you can still vote even if you weren't there. You're just voting.
Okay, Bailey?
Aye.
Okay, Doug?
Aye.
Emilio?
Aye.
Betsy?
Aye.
Al? Al? This is for the minutes of September 9th.
Oh, aye.
Okay, Jack, aye. Okay.
Sounds
Let's see.
good.
What else do we have here?
So we did have the minor modification request by Wall
Yes.
Street Development for 8 Gordon Lane, Lot 2. And I saw Paul McManus was on for a little while and then he left. So I'm not sure.
Well, I think your comment is appropriate that it should be a separate filing rather than an amendment. Besides, I wouldn't call a swimming pool a minor amendment. And we'd normally have separate orders that go along with a swimming pool. I would
Right.
suggest that we make that a negative request to make it an amendment to that existing order and that we require a notice of intent to be filed. You want to add anything to that, Landis?
Nope, that sounds totally appropriate to me.
Okay, so we'll make that a motion.
I'll move it. Al.
Second Betsy.
Okay, all in favor? Bailey,
Aye.
Doug,
Aye.
Emilio,
Aye.
Betsy,
Aye.
Al,
Aye.
Jack, aye. Okay, what else do we have?
Well, there's another Wall Street thing right underneath it.
Yeah, but he wasn't here, so
Okay.
I'll pursue it through discussions with Lou Petrosi. I'll just inform the commission. So one of these heavy rainfalls recently, I went out to Boyden Estates and lot 6, where the little wetlands is in front of the house, was totally filled up and had overflowed over the bank and down the slope towards lot 5, eroding a channel towards lot 5. And I sent an email to Mr. Petrosi saying that I had noticed this and sent pictures and asked him how he was going to address it. And his quick answer that he said it was water that had come off the roadway. So I need to follow up to see if he's made any changes and that he needs to address the stormwater issue, because that wetlands, A, shouldn't be filling up that high, and B, should certainly not be overflowing and eroding the slope on the lot 5 side.
So I have a question.
Go ahead, Betsy.
So did they know we were going to be discussing that tonight?
No.
Oh, okay. We need to make sure, because we're heading into spring eventually, and it's going to rain, and it just doesn't seem right that a relatively newly built road that should have correct drainage is then going into this wetland, which is then behaving the way it shouldn't, and then eroding a neighbor's property. So the whole, it just seems like they need to know that they need to be here next time.
Right, and I hadn't put it on the agenda, so I just popped it in my my agent's report, which is sometimes what I do if things don't get on the agenda, because the agent's report is on the agenda. So if there's something I feel like we need to discuss, I put it on the agent's report. But I assumed Lou Petrozzi would be at this meeting, and he wasn't. So I will make sure that he knows that he needs to address this.
Landis,
That he needs to come to the next meeting, or his engineer does.
To discuss it.
Yeah,
Yep.
not sort of.
Landis, is this the lot that had the revised wetland line and no outlet to it just kind of disappears?
Yes, yes.
And that filled up?
Yes.
That's interesting. And lot 5 is one that we have been waiting for either Mr. Petrozzi or the owner to request a certificate of compliance, I believe.
That's correct.
So I think we should bring this lot 5 to his attention as well, that needs to be completed.
Okay. So I will send him a notice of non-compliance in regards to the lot 6 and the erosion that occurred, and ask him to attend next meeting.
Also, he should check out the stormwater drainage system to see if that's functioning properly. I know that has been an issue in the past where the drainage structures have been blocked by one thing or another.
The catch basins?
Catch basins, yeah. So I would ask him to attend to the catch basins and the maintenance of the roadway.
Yeah, I'll go out there tomorrow and see what
Okay.
what the state is. And
All right. Do we have anything else? Let's see on here. Okay.
Landis?
And anybody have anything else?
Yeah, Landis?
Yes.
Anything on the solar fields and so on Fisher Street and behind the Aggie?
Right. So I finally had some correspondence with the Norfolk County Commissioners and the consultant that's working on the solar field.
Yeah.
And made it clear to them that they need to keep us updated, that if there's going to be any solar fields on lots where there is wetlands, even if it's not within 100 feet, that they need to at least file a request for determination with a field identified wetlands prior to doing anything. So he said, yes, we'll do that. And they're still in preliminary. They're still doing preliminary work on exactly where they're going to site the solar field.
Okay.
Are they part of, are they subject to the town bylaw?
So I asked Michael Yanovich about that early on, and he indicated to me that was kind of in town council's court. That I think that the county was saying they're not because they're county government. But I think Walpole was, trying to clarify that because there's some issues.
I think we should follow up on that because those, I would think that the solar panels they have put down by the school would include potentially more than 40,000 square feet, which would require them to file for a land disturbance permit with us.
The ones that they've done in the parking lot currently?
may be less than 40,000 square feet, but I would check that out and see what, whether it is or not.
The ones they're putting up now, constructing now.
Yeah, down by the school.
Yeah. Okay.
So I want to, two things. One is I agree with Jack that I think maybe the town council should be asked again to, I don't know if, whether it's way down on the to-do list or not, but that we are very interested to know about whether the town council thinks that they should be following our bylaws, and maybe they could get back to us on that, unless it's so complicated that they can't. And then the second thing is, Landis, they're still trying to figure out where to put them, because I thought that I saw, I have a big document, and probably Emilio has it too, that pretty clearly states the lots that they're going to put it on. So they're not sure about that?
Well, what I was told, and I think Glenn Maffei has also had conversations with them, is they took the information they received from the public hearing, and they're redesigning where they're possibly going to put them.
That's what
So
I thought.
if you're talking about the document for the, what was it, November or October? I think it was a November meeting. I saw that too. And they were like in the middle of the woods where they would have to cut down a huge amount of trees to do that.
That's where I thought it stood after that public hearing, that they were going to go back and kind of finagle and redo, or just kind of take a second look at it. So that's the last I heard.
And that's what they were telling me from these emails. So
Yeah.
they don't have a final design plan yet, that they would deal with delineated wetlands, or that they would file for a request for determination or something like that.
So Dennis, do you think we can get town council to have some kind of a ruling about the bylaws?
Well, I'll ask again, because it was a while ago that I had posed this question. If what was going on, because all I was hearing was from abutters and citizens of Walpole regarding this solar field, and nothing from anyone else, including the Norfolk County. So I'll ask again. Yeah, I'll ask town council.
All right, anybody else have any questions or comments? Okay, then we'll meet again, February or January, what is it? 27th?
Correct.
Okay. See you all then.
All right, Jack, take it easy.
Okay, thanks.
Happy
Okay.
New Year.